So today we'll get started with Brian from WingaDoos. I'll have Brian give all his background information, but I just want to go ahead and turn it over to Brian now from WingaDoos.
Well, excellent. I appreciate y'all coming together for this presentation. I've been looking forward to this for a while. So by way of background, I graduated from UWF and then spent a good chunk of my career in New York for about the last 10 to 12 years or so. Started a couple of businesses up there. I split my time now between New York City and Pensacola. So when Jim asked me to do this, I've been typically in New York for the last couple of months that he's asked me to do this, but it worked out well doing this via Zoom. So and I'm actually here in Pensacola with my family for the time being. But excited to share with you a little bit more about this social venture called the WingaDoos. So I guess I'll go ahead and share my screen, Jim. Is that cool? It's okay. All right. So this is the WingaDoos. And really this idea was born out of a social problem around financial literacy. So with one of my previous ventures, I was invited to a World Economic Forum discussion where we talked about fintech, which was kind of the headline of the year 2015, 2016. But what's really interesting to me was the undercurrent conversation around just a general lack of financial literacy, especially in this country in particular, which some of the stats that came out of this discussion really shocked me. Most Americans alive are going to outlive their assets, with a third have little to no money saved for any type of retirement. And then our student loan debt continues to rise. And these are just a couple of warning signs that went off to me. And I thought about, what is it that I'd like to do, spend a significant amount of my life and career pursuing, and it's really tackling a lot of these social problems. To make matters worse, we really don't teach this concept or the tools around financial literacy in classrooms in the country. And but as a result, whenever folks grow up, no surprise, most fail a basic financial literacy test. So these things really struck a chord with me. So I teamed up with some very talented and smart folks to tackle some of these issues. And we dug down a little bit further. We realized that learning about money is much like learning a language. It's actually there are connections, obviously, with mathematics, but it's more so around vocabulary. And that a lot of your money story, your financial habits are formed really early. And a Cambridge study came out that said they're formed while kids are in elementary school. So with that in mind, we thought, what are the best ways for us to, get families and kids excited about learning money matters? And that led us to the WingaDoos. So think of the WingaDoos as almost like a Sesame Street for money matters, where we wanted to find really creative, fun, engaging ways to get kids and families talking about concepts like spending and saving, needs versus wants, the different forms of payment that we all live in a digital world. When I grew up, we had cash and credit cards, and those kind of represented transactions. But these days, my kids, we just hit buttons, and Ubers show up, and packages show up. They see them as presents. So we need to let kids know that there's a whole system of transactions happening, and that these things don't just magically appear when you hit buttons. So that's what the WingaDoos is all about. It's a fun brand designed to get kids and families excited about learning about money, and not in a way that's workbooky and bankerish, but really imploding a lot of those old concepts around how to teach this, and just injecting a lot of creativity and a lot of fun. So the way it works, we've got kind of two core products. One is a free app, so wingadoos.com. You can check out our modules. We've got basically these short cartoons that set up a story, and then you pick a character, and you have that character actually choose what they're going to do, spend versus save. Max has the option to buy the slug burger at the concert or not. And so you get to see how these decisions play out, because one of the things we want kids to do and families to do is to actually make mistakes and learn what those repercussions are. Because if they can learn and make decisions and make mistakes that are low stakes early on, as their vocabulary around financial literacy grows and they start making more complicated decisions, then they will be better trained for that. So I thought I would go ahead and also just give a little taste of one of our modules. This is about 3 minutes. I thought I had embedded this, but it looks like it didn't embed, so we'll do this way instead. I'll pull up the YouTube.
Of course! I'll pay you back as soon as I can. Bye, bye-bye. How am I gonna pay her back?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, you seem upset.
Well, that was my friend Cha-Cha.
Sounds like Cha-Cha. Need some cha-ching.
Max, this is serious. The other day we were hanging out together and went to a restaurant. I didn't realize how pricey it would be. Cha-Cha paid the bill, but now she needs me to pay her back. I don't have the money. What am I gonna do?
Well, it sounds like she's not mad or anything.
You're right. She's being totally cool about it. I just don't know where that money is gonna come from.
It might seem like a lot if you focus on the whole amount, so think of getting it in smaller pieces.
Yeah, like $1 at a time. Put each of those dollars in your wallet or bank, and they start to add up.
Just think of all the ways you can get just $1. Money moves around each day. Sometimes you put it away, storing it in a safe place so you can have it for future days.
There's $1 in my wallet. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come
They gave
from?
it.
There's $1 in the bank. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come
They gave
from?
it.
Money moves around each day. Money for work is called pay. You earn money for yourself by doing jobs for someone else.
Like it's yours too.
There's
Yeah!
$1 in my wallet. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come from?
gave it.
There's $1 in the bank. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come
They
from?
gave it.
Money moves around each day. Some even give it away. It can give spirits a lift to get money as a gift.
There's $1 in my wallet. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come
They
from?
gave it.
There's $1 in the bank. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come from?
They gave it.
Just make sure if you get $1 or if you get a whole stack that whoever gave you that dollar doesn't want you to give it back. There's $1 in my wallet. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come from?
They gave it.
There's $1 in the bank. Where'd it come from?
I saved it.
Where'd it come from?
I earned it.
Where'd it come
They
from?
gave it.
Hey everyone, Booker here.
All
Looks
right,
like
so,
Lulu knows all too well
I'll
that
stop.
there are
I'll stop
two
this
kinds of
at
sharing.
this point.
Something shared that you don't have
Hold
to
on.
return, and something
Booker.
borrowed that you have to give back.
All right. But you get the gist of it, hopefully. And we've got some fantastic talent that's involved on the project. So some of the voices that you hear in the animation are I see some of the applause, thank you. Some of the voices that you hear on the animation are on Broadway on the show Hamilton. So we've got some like legitimate stars that are just love what we're doing and wanted to be a part of it, which was super flattering. I'm gonna bring my PowerPoint back up. Can y'all see the PowerPoint again?
Not yet.
Okay, should I share again?
Yeah, try unsharing and resharing. One of the chat says, "That's awesome. The song is going to be stuck in my head."
That's the goal, fortunately and unfortunately. Okay, going back to the presentation.
Yeah, it's about to launch. Thank you.
Yeah, so basically we've got, I'll flip around here. So we've got one of the creatives has also been on Sesame Street for about 25 years. He won an Emmy for another show called Word World on PBS. And then we've got Harold, who has done a slew of projects, and he's actually been nominated for an Academy Award for his animation work. So we're super excited about that. And as we started to build a little bit more of an audience and a bit more of a momentum, a lot of folks were asking for other kind of products that were associated with the brand, and we just stumbled across somebody who's quite a fantastic game designer, like a board game and card game designer. And he approached us wanting to do something with the brand, and we decided to put together a card game. So we launched that right in the fall of last year. We sold about 1,000 games and raised about $22,000 on Kickstarter. And we're still selling them. So if anybody wants them, you can go to the link there and take a look. And a lot of folks have been excited about having something extra to play at home, since everybody's kind of at home a little more now. So we've had really great feedback on the Work It card game, which has got the WingaDoos characters, the stories, and the concepts. It's almost like Uno meets Monopoly. It's very fun, it's dynamic, and it gets the concepts across. And that's pretty much it. I think I went a little long with all my technical hiccups, so my apologies for that. But I really appreciate the opportunity to share one of these projects that I'm super passionate about. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate the presentation was awesome, and the video was great, and Jim's dancing in the background was a big bonus. He really did an awesome job with his dancing there, Jim. Well, we'll talk later about a little bit of practice and moves there, Jim. Well, next, Brian, what we do now is we allow people on the Zoom meeting the opportunity to ask some questions for you or get some additional input. So Dr. Graber, I'll have you kind of control that process. If anyone would like to ask a question, please feel free to choose the raise hand option that you have on your Zoom screen, or at the very worst, if you're on calling in a phone, you can always make a comment or just kind of wave your hand in front of the screen. Dr. Graber, I'll turn it over to you.
Sorry, one moment.
Oh, unleash the hounds. All right. Hey, everybody. Does anyone have any questions that you would like to ask of Brian on this really great presentation? I think you did a great job presenting. I like how you mentioned the cards being like Uno versus, meets Monopoly. Those are really good reference points for those of us crowd that are used to playing board games and card games. That was really good. Any questions, anybody? Any feedback? All right. I guess you did a pretty daggone good job. Hopefully everyone will look you up, and we can take it away from here.
Great.
I'm gonna go on a limb and unmute everybody.
It was
I'm
something
sure there's
related to
questions.
that, 'cause it was trying to look at total wages of an owner.
Bad idea.
Bad idea, always.
I have not.
Brian,
Boom.
have you been able, Brian, is this program that you have going to be used with autistic children as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've had that question before, and you know, the idea is ultimately yes. Right now, the content is focused around mostly core curriculum in grades K through 3, but we have had feedback from teachers that teach kids with special needs that some kids that are above that grade have really enjoyed it because of the cartoons and the you know, and all the good colors and catchy. So we've had some really good feedback along those lines, and we'd like to develop more for that as well. But you know, it's a lot of projects in the pipeline, so you know, never enough time or money to get them all out. But the answer is yes, that's something ultimately we'd like to tackle.
Excellent. Okay, and we have a question from Brian.
Yes, and if anyone needs to raise your hand If you go to your participants option on your Zoom screen, that's usually where the raise hand option's at. So if you want to raise your hand, you can do that there. I see that Lloyd posted a question saying, what is your revenue model?
Ah, there we are.
Question. So we're basically a freemium model. The content that you saw there can be available for free on a website. We've got a whole journey experience that's free. Ultimately, there'll be other products and services in the app that'll be paid, and then we have products like the Work It product, which is obviously, it's a $20 product that you buy off our website, and we sell those almost every day. So. And you can learn more about the game at WingaDoos.com. There's a tab there for the Work It card game. And that's probably, right now, it's probably our most trafficked page, because folks are looking for something fun, educational, entertaining for kids at home. So that's our revenue model right now.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Did that answer your question, Lloyd? Is that good? Okay. Awesome. Do you think partnerships with other apps or other people that are targeting children of that age, maybe, because I'm just thinking I run a nonprofit that's about online safety and social media safety. And we were always looking for partners to be kind of gaining momentum. I would just give you suggestions of finding some good partnerships.
Yes, I mean, this is a huge partnership play. So we do a lot of partnerships. We've done stuff with the Pensacola Children's Business Fair here locally.
Yeah.
We've done some stuff with credit unions. We actually have a fair amount of credit union clients that are buying the game, the Work It game, and then co-branding it and giving it to their clients and customers. So any tangential partnerships, we're excited to explore. Anybody that's doing something kind of socially minded for our segment, kids and families, or that's also, entrepreneurial or finance that could benefit from a partnership. We've had a lot of success with previous collaborations. So happy to connect further offline.
Yeah, sounds good. I think the credit unions is a great idea. Excellent. All right. Are there any other questions for Brian here? I don't see any in the chat. Okay, great. We're done. Back to you, Brian.
Right, thank y'all. I really appreciate it. And thanks, like I said, thanks for hanging with me on the tech.
Oh, no worries, man.
Mackenzie, I know you were cringing because you were the one that told me to put it embed it in the PowerPoint, and you were right.
No, it worked out. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Hey, Brian, this is Brian again. One question or comment for you is that I used to be on the Junior Achievement Board, and this is exactly what they do, going into schools, getting volunteers. Have you looked at the Junior Achievement process and seeing about them maybe taking this on as well and working with you?
It's something that's come up. We haven't really had an in with the Junior Achievement at the at the right level. But I'm happy to chat with you further on that if you have the right folks to talk to. We do have a product that does check the boxes for core curriculum K-3 by design. So it actually does work really well in the classrooms, and it's free. So, that could be an opportunity. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll chat offline, and definitely I can probably give you a name of a person too that could help you out with that. It'll be a great way to help our kids get educated. So thank you. I'll definitely give you information offline.
Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And Brian, the last question that we ask is, what can the community do for you?
I mean, I appreciate that, and I knew that question was coming up. I think part of what the WingaDoos wants to do is just to push the conversation around money matters. And probably the easiest thing to do would be to follow us in social. And we're pretty good about our content. It's not constantly, spamming our products or anything. We put out information and infographics and share what other groups that are like-minded are doing. So I would say that, an easy ask would be to follow us in social, see what, and share stuff that you feel like is relevant, because it really will take a bit of a groundswell to make this subject of talking about money a lot less taboo. And so that's the first thing. And the other one would be if anybody has, any other partnership ideas, whether they be in the world of financial services or credit unions or other groups that cater to families and kids, reach out to me and we can have a follow up on offline to see kind of what collaborations could be had.